Have you ever wondered what the Tacticooler drink tastes like? Is it spicy? Is it sweet? Could it be sour? Does each ink color provide a different flavor? Could purple ink make it grape flavored while orange makes it, well, orange flavored? Are the flavors similar to the drinks in the grab and go, such as cherry apple fizz or matcha reviver? Isn't there an official answer to this? Well, there doesn't seem to be an exact answer yet. All the Squid Research Laboratory can say is they can't confirm any flavors. So that means, I guess it's time for us to determine what the flavor of this drink is. So let's get started by getting the obvious out of the way. What's a real-life equivalent the Tacticooler drink could be? Energy drinks. What are they made out of? Well, I'm sure a lot of things, but most common ingredients seem to be a large amount of sugar and caffeine. And if that's the case for the Tacticooler drink, then it should contain some kind of sugar or sweetener for taste and caffeine for a boost, which would make them a sweet-flavored energy drink. Is what I would say if the average time for caffeine to take effect wasn't roughly around 10 to 45 minutes. Of course, that could be different for everyone, especially considering different levels of caffeine and how fast you drink a whole can. And I'm not too sure if this would also apply to Inklings and Octolings, but something to take a note of is the effects of the Tacticooler are instant. You grab a can, and in a snap, you get a speed boost. And I don't think a large dose of sugar and caffeine provide an instant boost of agility. So hear me out. What if instead of the Tacticooler being a sugary caffeinated drink, is instead a military-grade stim shot in a can? In other non-named games, stim shots provide similar buffs to Splatoon, most notably, a speed boost. The Tacticooler could just be the way of turning a stim shot into a colorful, friendly energy drink, similar how the pretty lights and colors cover up the gruesome lore of this world. That being said, Tacticooler drinks could be some form of drinkable adrenaline in a can. So then, how would that taste like? Well, the best real-life equivalent of a stim shot could be epinephrine, but we put it in a can. I know that may not be 100%, but we're gonna roll with it. Because according to r/no stupid questions, it doesn't taste like much, it has a bland taste, and it's nothing memorable. May not be 100% confirmed, but seems pretty accurate enough for me. So if the Tacticooler drink is a bitter, bland tasting stim shot in a can of some sort, then that should make this drink the worst flavored drink ever, right? Well, here's the thing again. Apparently you can't really drink adrenaline and expect some kind of effect. And the only real efficient way to get any effect is via needle. So sadly, I don't think that the Tacticooler may be a adrenaline stim shot in a can. But hear me out. As interesting as that would have been, we're gonna have to go back to the way that Inklings and Octolings intake these drinks. In-game, it's clear making a whole chugging animation wouldn't seem too viable for a gameplay aspect. It would just take too much time to get the wanted boost, so to keep the game's fast-paced gameplay, the animation goes as follows. A player walks up to the cooler, a drink hovers towards the player, and the player just absorbs it into their body. Now, I've wanted to talk about how weapons and specials work, how do they shoot, refill, and kind of just materialize out of nowhere. I won't linger too much on that, gonna have to cover it another time. But an assumption we can make is, what if the entire Tacticooler special is made up of ink mixed with some kind of adrenaline energy boosting substance? Not only would it make sense, because a player could just walk up, grab a can, shove it into their body, absorb the substance, and then instantly get a boost, but it would also make it extremely environmentally friendly. It makes sense why the containers of this special just disappear after it's been used. I mean, sure, maybe the Inklings and Octolings really aren't the best at throwing away trash, considering throughout this series there's been sightings of litter spewed here and there. But whoever designed the Tacticooler thought of helping the Earth just one more time. They're the true mystery hero. So let's consider that the Tacticooler may be made out of ink. Then what does ink taste like? Not just any kind of ink, though. What does Inkling and Octoling ink taste like? I'm just going to stop you right there. You have to remember, they're made out of ink. We're assuming their specials are made out of ink. We're going to roll with it. And now, we just have to pair them with their real-world equivalents. Cephalopod ink, squid ink, etc., etc. So, what does squid ink taste like? I myself have never really tried squid ink. Maybe you have, and hey, if you have, you should tell me your experience down below and how that went. And while you're at it, hey, why don't you leave a like? Maybe subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified for future uploads, shorts, live streams. I honestly think that'd be pretty cool. It'd be really, really, really cool. Tangent aside, looking up the taste of squid ink, apparently it tastes like brine. Briny, slightly fishy flavor. Salty taste that some describe like the sea. Which makes more sense and seems kind of obvious now, but what does Inkling and Octoling ink taste like? Salty, I guess? And there we go! What does the Tacticooler drink taste like? It tastes like salt. And if it has adrenaline mixed in with the ink, it would make sense. It works due to Inklings being able to absorb it into themselves, thus getting a speed boost. So come one, come all, get your adrenaline in a can, salt flavored. Only salt flavored. But as usual, I don't mean to delay our amazing progress with the true flavor of the Tacticooler drink, but I don't know. Containers made of ink with adrenaline that tastes like salt may just not be the case. Considering if they do just absorb it into their body, would it even really be a drink at all? Honestly, I really thought we could have been onto something there, but we're just going to move on to our final guesstimation, where we're going to look at things in a much less insane direction by looking at the game's concession stand drinks. So as we know, one of the main buffs the Tacticooler provides is a speed boost. If we go by Splatoon 3's drinks, we can see that in the grab and go, the run speed up is a speedy gazpacho drink. In the second game, the drink is slightly different. It's called Run Speed Tomato, but gazpacho is essentially just tomato with a few extra steps. So if we apply the drink flavors that give us the run speed ability for our gear, could we assume that a gazpacho tomato flavor would be the official taste of the Tacticooler drink? So I guess if you like tomato, you're in luck, because this may be the case for the drink, but this whole time I've mostly been applying the run speed we get from this special. So if we're going to use the concession stand drink flavors, we have to look at every buff that the drink gives us. Taking a look at the list of buffs, it goes as follows: swim speed, run speed, intensify action, quick super jump, quick respawn, special saver, and ink resistance. 7 total buffs from 7 different drinks. So with this new knowledge, let's apply all the flavored drinks for these buffs, and to shorten things, we'll just go with the grab and go selection of drinks. Swim speed is cherry apple fizz, run speed, as we know, is gazpacho. Intensify action is interesting as it's called Action Berry Twist, which could just be a combination of, well, different berries. Quick super jump is citrus hip hopper. Quick respawn, matcha reviver. Special saver is salty melon special. And finally, we have ink resistance, stompin' grape. So, 7 buffs, 7 drinks, 7 flavors. Now there's only one thing to do. Grab your nearest thing, grab all these flavors, and take your taste buds to the promised land with this very fruity drink. Honestly, the only thing that makes this amalgamation of a drink sound strange is the gazpacho, but I don't think it would be enough to overpower the rest of these sweet flavors. If it's just one giant mixed fruity cocktail with no discerning flavors of drinks that correlates with each ability, I honestly think it would just taste really sweet. But would this be the official flavor of the Tacticooler drink? I don't know, maybe. I'm not too sure. If anything, the Tacticooler may as well just be a sugary, sweet energy drink with a variety of flavors depending on the ink color that it was deployed as. But then how would that work? Maybe a little sensor inside the Tacticooler that detects the ink color, which then opens a little flavor packet that is poured into these drinks? And maybe in those packets there's just an insane amount of sugar that gives a player a sugar rush. No real way of actually telling. We don't have some kind of blueprint access to the Tacticooler. Something that I also really haven't gone into is how the drink even provides instant respawn capabilities. Clearly drinking this in-game, you respawn instantly due to quick respawn, but scientifically in-universe, how does that technology work? I'll probably save that for another time. But seriously, what is the Tacticooler drink made out of? Who is the manufacturer behind this? How did they even make such a drink? Were there any kind of trial and error phases? Was there like too much of the energy boosting substance in one that would just immediately make Inklings pop? Or what? I don't know. This drink has a lot of mysteries behind it. Part 2 maybe? I don't know, maybe. But I know this is a little late into the video, but a better question to all of this, and I know many of you have probably already typed it out. How can they even drink liquid? Well, you see,